line. Bad bitches, every city in my tribe. Look behind. Booty dominate.
Hello, welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. So I can do like two topics.
Okay.
So
Dealer's
first,
choice.
body
And
count
and
does
just
matter.
so everyone knows, I have 30 minutes left in the debate.
Okay, yeah, I think it'd be fast though.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with body count does matter, but let me hear your reason for, I guess, why it doesn't.
I don't think it's any indicator in terms of who a person is and how they approach relationships.
I can agree with that. In a sense, everybody has their own ideology around it. I just feel like at the end of the day, it's a preference. It might not matter to you, but it does matter to somebody, just as if, somebody or women, some women wanting a man that's over 6 feet or, a certain height or whatever, it's not an indication of,
Why is that
how good they're going
always
to
an
be.
example? If I line up 10 men, can I tell who's tall?
No, but no.
Wait, so if I line up 10 men and I'm looking at these 10 men, you don't think I can point out who's tall?
Like by like exact height and stuff, like if they're 6 foot or whatever, or just who's the tallest in the room.
No, I'm just like if you were to say pick out the tall ones, like do you
Oh yeah,
think I
yeah, of
could
course you
arrange
could.
them tallest? Okay, great. If I
Of
put
course you could.
10 women in front of you, could you tell me who has the highest body count and arrange them from highest to lowest?
No.
Okay. So you have to acknowledge that body count does rely on the person's claim.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm just saying it still
Great.
matters to people. I
So
mean,
if
like,
women just lie, does it really matter?
yeah.
Why would it matter?
Mm, Technically, if they lie, I guess, it's showing their true colors at that point. You probably would never find out unless somebody tells you. But,
Right, right. You
it
wouldn't
shows your
find
true color
out.
if you want to hide it.
You still have
If
like
it's,
the capacity, like let's say that a woman lied, and she's like, I have two bodies, and then later you found out like she has 20 or 30. Like, would that change your relationship?
possibly
Not the
could, just as
lying,
a,
but
if
not the
if
lying,
it
but the
didn't
20
matter.
or 30.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
What would it
That could be
change?
that could be like somebody's like moral value at that point. Like I just rather not be, they can not have a high body count, and I don't want somebody with a high body count. That's just their moral value, and that's not something that they want to
So
proceed
wait,
in a relationship
so
with.
I feel now you've contradicted yourself because I said that when it comes to body count, I don't think it has a reflection on who someone is, what their value is, or how they'll approach relationships. And you said you agreed. And now you're saying it is an indicator of their moral values.
I agree. No, I
Well,
never
which
said that. I
is
said
it?
some people. I'm not saying me in specific. I said me, but some people. I'm saying these are preferences, so these preferences are individualized by different people.
Well,
So that
number
could
one,
be one
I think
factor
they're
of it.
I don't think they're preferences. I think men try to hide behind it and say it's a preference when it's really a philosophy because they're essentially telling women who they are based on how many men they've slept with. Or even just people. I don't know. I can't really get a consensus. What is a body?
Somebody that you have had vaginal sex with. That
Vaginal
is
sex.
still different. That's still different based on who you're talking to. Some people count
Right. So I'm
oral
asking, yeah.
as a
So
body.
what do I count?
I'm sitting over here
You would have to
virginal.
ask that individual person. You have to ask
Well,
the
I'm
individual
asking
person that
you.
you're
Like, if
talking
this
to.
is a preference, then
Oh,
surely fundamentally we can
for
determine what
me,
counts as a body.
for me, it's like vaginal and stuff.
Okay. So I only within your framework, bodies only count for me if they're men.
For me, oh, you're asking for me if they only count for if they're men.
Correct. In your definition of body count, for women, does that mean women only having sex with men count? If we have sex with other women, does that count?
Again, that like I said, it's a preference, so it's individualized. Like that could be for me. No, not really. No, I wouldn't count it personally. For some people, yes.
You wouldn't count me having sex with women.
No.
Why not?
I don't know. It's just something different to me about it. Because I see, I don't know.
Well, what is the
It's just something
distinction?
different to me about it.
What is the distinction?
Uh, I guess the actual, like the semen coming out uh, and being
Oh,
inside of a
so
woman,
so if I've
or
had
even
sex,
just the penetration aspect, which I
oh,
understand
so it's
that.
not so okay, it's not
Go ahead.
ejaculation now, it's just penetration. So what about being penetrated by men versus women determines my moral framework?
What's the difference?
Yeah. Why is being penetrated by men a reflection of my moral framework, but not having intercourse with women?
I don't know. It's just a belief of mine. I'm just saying. You know, I don't have
I,
an
I,
actual
I know it's a belief of
response
yours,
for
and
that.
I'm asking you to substantiate it because honestly, um, I think men are just pee-pee obsessed.
Fair enough. I mean, that's understandable. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, it's a preference for people, and it
It's
might not
not,
matter to
it's a
you. It still matters to
philosophy.
people. So what's I guess what's behind like giving somebody 6 feet? I'm not saying that you want somebody 6 foot, but like what's the
So
philosophy
if
behind
we're
that?
going to talk about like why women, I think, prefer tall men, I would argue that's just again a structure of the patriarchy. Because as women, a part of our femininity is to be petite, is to be small. And so we like men that are bigger than us because it affirms our femininity in that sense. Where if we are bigger than men, then we feel masculine, which can bring some incongruence with our gender. So if you don't like that women have a preference of tall men, then I think we should obviously change the constructs of femininity and masculinity. But when it comes to, I don't think any woman is saying uh, tall men are the best men. They will make the best fathers. They will make the best husbands. They are the only men that can provide a wonderful life for you. They will remain faithful to you. We're not tall men supremacists. I could even say that I prefer brunettes instead of blondes, but I'm not saying that that blondes don't propagate the nuclear family. But with body count, when men say, I want women with low body count, it is because of philosophies like you just said. It's an indication of their moral value. Obviously, this person doesn't have very high morals with how they approach relationships. I only care if they have sex with men, but not with women. Obviously, she might not make a great mother or a great wife. She won't be faithful to me. These are the arguments that men are making regarding body count.
I guess, but I still see it as one and the same as that is a preference because I mean, it's like somebody saying that they want a provider, and that's based off their philosophy, that men should lead and provide. I mean, that's not a bad
Okay, that's
thing
not a
that if somebody
preference.
wants it.
That is a philosophy.
Yeah, but it still goes into like a preference. Like, if they want a provider, they're not gonna go for somebody who's not working or who wants to be a stay-at-home dad.
Well, I think it depends on what context you view providing. There are a lot of women who would love men to provide emotional and intimate support. And there are women who would love for men to
True,
provide financial support, sure. But
true.
again, I
Yeah, yeah,
don't
you're right.
think we're talking about body count. And I think a lot of men hide behind preference. This is just my preference, as if it is it is inconsequential, quential, as if it doesn't create constructions about how women behave and how women are. If I want a long term committed partner, in terms of those fundamental values, I would look for someone who is open minded, who is understanding, who is respectful, and who is interested in communication. If you are here to tell me that because I have slept with X amount of people that I have poor morals, then you are none of those things. And therefore, you are not a qualified partner, which I would advise
Yeah,
to
I
women.
agree.
If a man ever asks you, what is your body count? Immediately delete.
I mean, I can understand your side of things. Like I said, at the end of the day, I mean, it's coming back to morals a bit. Like I said, if somebody wants to be, unless financially a provider, you're not gonna go for that person because it shows that some people I've heard said like, if you can't financially provide for me, you can't lead me. And is that necessarily true? I don't know. I haven't.
Well,
and
again,
dating.
like
So I don't
I
know.
disagree with that narrative. I think women aren't actually looking for providers anymore because women have gained a lot of financial autonomy in today's society. And so the requirements for the relationship have dramatically changed. I would say men would want to continue to propagate that women want providers because for so long, all men had to do was offer a paycheck and they got access to women. So I
I
think
guess
that's a bit of a non
I would
sequitur.
say it's subjective in a little bit because I mean, but no, I understand.
But ultimately, like we can see that body count can be inflated for a numerous amount of reasons. Like for example, when I was in college, I got a high body count because I was interested in pursuing my studies, not being in a relationship, not taking time away from that, but I still wanted to have sex. So yes, I had casual sex. But once I graduated college, got into the workforce, and was looking for a partner, I no longer increase my body count. So it can be due to someone wanting to have experience. It can be due to someone experiencing trauma, whether that is the end of a relationship and now they kind of want to explore being with other people. If we look at even relationship courting, if you have a problem with women's high body count, then you really should address the gender that has an interest in casual sex more, which would be men. And I would argue that men often use many deceptive tactics, including promoting that they want a long-term relationship when they don't. So again, a woman's high body count could be inflated because of male deception wanting access to sex. So
No, I can agree with that.
just based on this one data point to say that someone has poor morals or that you know who they are, I think is very sexist. And then even kind of how you construct your body count, I think is also like, maybe Will can talk a little bit about this. I think that's
Yeah,
really borderline homophobic
I'd say it's
because
homophobic.
you're saying that like relationships with women in intercourse aren't as like meaningful and deep and valid as they are with men.
Or I'd actually edge on. I don't think the worry about body count is necessarily like the emotional connection you previously had to the person. So I wouldn't say that's the critique. I'd say it's almost like fetishization of lesbianism, right? It's more so, oh, it doesn't count because I like it, whereas like other men having intercourse with you previously might be threatening to their masculinity or like might be devaluing it, like their worldview to you. Whereas if you have intercourse with other women, oh well, maybe we can try that out in our relationship, or maybe I like that idea, so it just feels good. So I'm not going to count it, even though obviously that's incredibly devaluing to the relationship to arbitrarily objectify and sexualize it. And equally, I don't know. I don't understand how this logic tracks for gay men. Like, why would you consider me literally to be a virgin in your worldview? I think that's entirely arbitrary, just because I've only had intercourse with men. Like any argument you could
Did I say
conceivably make
I
about.
didn't say you were a virgin.
Well, you
I
said
mean,
vaginal
you
sex
would
is
have been
what
correct, yeah.
constitutes a body count, and obviously Will hasn't had
Yeah,
vaginal sex.
Oh well, I'm not talking about men at that point.
obviously
You know.
rude.
Well,
But yeah,
when it is not
no,
what
I'm
would
just
count for
kidding.
your bodies is having sex with women.
Yeah, I mean that's for me going towards females. I don't think about. I mean like that's I never really thought about that side of it, the house. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
and I'd say maybe that ignorance borders on like reckless ignorance, such to be homophobia. Right, like sometimes when we
I wouldn't say homophobic. I don't even say that. I don't think
when we
it's.
exclude actively certain people from our worldview, that exclusionary understanding and building a worldview off of that exclusionary understanding is going to be hurtful or harmful to the accuracy of it. So that's
But
what
is
I'd
it
say. Yeah,
excluding if
I,
I
I
don't
didn't I
participate
didn't
in it?
think
I mean,
I
like,
didn't
is it
think
really
that you
excluding if I
thought
don't
about me
participate in it?
in your what?
Yeah, because you are essentially marginalizing someone else's experience. Why does a woman engaging in sex with a man, any different than engaging in intercourse with a woman?
I mean, I don't have a comment for that. 'Cause like I said, I've never thought about it in that sense. So I mean, I never thought about
Right. So
body
essentially, you've
counts for
made it
men.
peripheral,
Yeah. And I think we can have
which is a
commentary on like why we
marginalization.
think you feel that way and why a bunch of people think you feel that way, even if you haven't done the articulation yourself, right? Like I think a lot of the reason that people think the difference is because they fetishize lesbians, right? Like that's my view, and that's what seems to be. And when we really go and explore that feeling, that tends to be what it comes down to. Because when we think about men's responses to like women holding hands or women like being emotionally connected, they're not nearly as interested. Yeah, even if you can't articulate your own like internal biases, like that's what we're saying is by it being a philosophy hidden by a preference, you're saying, oh, it's just my preference, oh, it's just my feelings, but actually it's you being affected by a harmful ideology. And I think that's this whole entire point, is the whole entire view of body count. It's instilled into us to maintain like misogynistic ideologies.
But couldn't you say that about women wanting like financial providers in the same sense? Wouldn't that be upholding the patriarchy?
Absolutely, we could say that about them, 100%, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, okay. Well, then I guess we can kind of come to that. For pro-choice, I'm not really against pro-choice. I'm against excessive abortions in a sense. Like I can understand that, it might not be the right time for you, but I don't believe in like, somebody who's just on their fourth abortion with no, justifiable cause as far as besides like, you know, being quote unquote reckless and not being ready. I can understand in the instance of grape and health concerns, obviously, great. I have no problem against that. But like, if you're on your fourth one, I think we need to like there should be something
What
there to stop you
percentage?
from having that.
What?
I'm sorry, say again?
Well, what percentage of people who get abortions are on their fourth one?
Oh, I mean, I don't know the actual statistic of it. I'm just saying, there should be a limit
It's
to it.
very rare. It's very rare.
Okay.
And I don't know how like someone having the service or healthcare recently changes their rights to have access to the service continuously.
Well, because of the in the sense of like at that point you're kind of being reckless and you haven't had any like prevention in between there. And I get four. Four is just I just threw out a number. I'm not just saying like it was just a random number. But there's like, I guess a lack of accountability after a certain point. Like you haven't like have we need to reevaluate what are you doing to like stop this.
So what do we do about men?
What you say?
What do we do about men then in this equation?
I mean, well, I'm waiting for a birth control for men, honestly. I mean, there is none sadly. So, I mean, if we can push that further, I mean, I think that would help with the
Well, let's
cause because I
just
don't
say
think
that there's a
men.
man who has caused 4 pregnancies that ended in abortion. Is there anything that we should do for him?
If a man has what?
Gotten four, caused 4 pregnancies that ended in abortion.
I guess more of the what is the context of it? Is it separate ones? I guess, or is it
Doesn't
like they're
matter.
trying to? Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, if he's oh well, no, never mind. I was thinking about miscarriage. My bad. Uh, well, usually after they're I guess forced vasectomy could work.
A forced vasectomy.
Yeah, forced vasectomy at that point.
I see.
Something to like hold accountability and stuff like that because there's
Why don't we just do
excessive
that to begin with?
because isn't it like unreversible, not unreversible, like the percentage of it goes down to like 30% after like 3 or 4 years, and I don't want like kids to have
I think it's about
permanent
70% at the
damage
lowest.
Yeah, and there's
after you said.
non-surgical vasectomies that have a higher rate of reversal, but I mean, we could always just like freeze sperm. That's good for like 30 or 40 years.
Free sperm in the sense of what like
Yeah, when boys or teenagers have them ejaculate into several cups and then just freeze it.
oh, you could do that. I guess it will come down to ideology at a point. Some people might not seem it, just think of it as a morality, but
Right. So I guess I'm just trying to highlight the hypocrisy is that you want to control women's bodies, but I don't think you really hold the same philosophy when it comes to men's bodies.
no, I mean I do, because like I said, if there was like a way to get like birth control for men faster, I mean, I'm pretty sure a majority of men would love that. I mean, I don't see anybody against that personally from my timeline,
I mean,
but
that's
there's not
like,
like
I mean,
there.
it's
Well, I
pretty
mean,
clear when they did
condoms.
try. Well, when they did try like oral birth control for men, the biggest clinical like response was, "Oh no, it causes emotional mood swings and like cramps." So yeah, a bunch of men did complain, and that's why the clinical trials ended. But those are the exact same birth control issues that women have. So I actually disagree. I don't think I think a lot of men are quite fine with the current state of birth control. It's actually women that by and large are saying, hey, maybe we don't want to carry this massive burden of changing our whole entire personality occasionally because of the hormones that birth control put in us. Yeah, so I disagree. Lots of men are completely
Okay.
fine with not affecting their body so they can have intercourse.
Hmm. Well, that was my stance on it. I mean, I just feel I'm not against pro choice. I just feel like there should be a limit to it.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that was pretty much it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
I'm so fucking cute, bitch.